Hello, hello, Airbus Cockpit Coach here. It's good to be back. Been a while. It's been pretty manic. That's what all I say. It's been a hectic few weeks in the real world. The summer schedule has well and truly taken off. Excuse the pun, but combined with that, there's also been sim sessions. I've been in the sim myself. I've also had to buddy for a colleague of mine in the sim as well. Wasn't ideal timing, but it's something we do for each other. Yeah, so it's taken a lot of time out, a fair bit of travelling, delays, fraying tempers at the airport, lots of grumpy passengers sitting in the heat, lots of grumpy-looking football fans as well, reappearing from Germany every now and then in the airport. So it's been an interesting time, backwards and forwards. Lots of blocks flown. I think I've been in the A319 more than anything recently, actually, which is unusual. I tend to get the A319 every now and then, but I think I did a continuous 4 days in the A319 as my last block. Yep, that was the last block. Yep, which also involved I think I did four trips to Geneva in 3 days as well. There we go. So there and back. Next day, that's where you're going again, off to Geneva. I quite like Geneva. I'm not complaining. It's just how the schedule rolls sometimes. But yeah, it's been interesting, but it's all good fun. It's got its challenges. It's good to be back. I've blown the dust off the PC. Hopefully settings have updated and I've had a play with things, but hopefully it all still works. But if you can't hear me or there's an issue, just shout at me, and hopefully we can fix it. I just had a look online. There's really limited. I don't think there's much air traffic control around, so I'm going to try Beyond ATC again today, because that's had a million and one updates since I last used it. It's constantly improving, so I thought I'll just give that a whirl. And give you some respite from the Boeing 777. Obviously, everyone's playing around with Boeing 777s, and there's everyone's flying shuttle ops in 777s. So we don't want to crash into one of those either. In Inverness, there'll be all sorts of the 777s appearing everywhere. So I'm sure someone's flying one into Jersey and crazy stuff like that. But seen some interesting routes being flown on VATS by 777. So obviously, I need to. Make sure you have adequate Airbus input into all this Boeing stuff out there at the moment. It's I don't want your mind's getting too Boeing focused. Where Airbus is where it's at. So just need to maintain a bit of Airbus content, don't we? Keep it real. It's great to see a long haul aircraft come to the sim of a decent standard, and I'm sure it's great. Will I get hold of it? Well, perhaps I will, but sitting behind my PC screen for 10 plus hours sounds a bit hard work to me. We might have a dabble. We'll have a dabble one day. It's and for me actually, even from a safety perspective. It would confuse me of going into Boeing and then even going into the real in the sim and going into the real aircraft. I'm very much drilled in my mind in terms of operating the Airbus. I'm conscious of that. I know people hold type ratings on all sorts of different aircraft, but for me, I'm sticking with what I know and what I know best, and that's the 320 series, the 319, 320, 321 NX in my operator's fleet. So that's what I'll stick to, I think. And can I add value to flying the 777 around? Maybe in some way, but there's probably better people out there for that. So let's jump in and let's get this thing powered up, shall we? Right. Sounds fine. Excellent. Thank you, Organaviator. Good to be back. We'll never shift to Boeing. You never shift to Boeing. That's good to hear. Absolutely. I mean, to be honest, for me, I never say never, but it is what it is. Opportunities come and go, but you learn and are trained in what you need to be trained in. But yeah, it's yeah, we'll see what happens in life. Never say never. You're right. That's that one. Yep. Oh, am I paid for sim sessions? Yeah, paid for sim sessions. It's obviously paid a salary. Obviously, in terms of flying a block, you don't get paid for the block so much, but yeah, it's part of your package. The sim sessions, Chris. So yeah, I don't lose out financially for doing sim sessions. It's part of the job. Yeah, quite good fun actually sometimes. And it's very different being the one being tested versus the one. Sometimes it's harder to be the good buddy sitting on the right side. It's because you're going in being tested. You're so drilled. You're in there every 6 months, sometimes more. You do a bit of extra practice sometimes on certain things, or something changes. But yeah, it's sitting on the right side, and you're just conscious that you want to make a really good job for whoever you're buddying for. And yeah, that's a stress in itself, isn't it? It's just and you're not in your normal seat, so I sit on the left and I'm in the right seat, and you just want to be spot on. You want to be. The focus is more on actually what can I do to help captain over there. Pass his sim check essentially, not cheating or anything, but you don't want to be the person that's in the way of that experience. So a little bit of pressure from that point of view. Right, what are we doing? No. I think we need to get the APU on, I think, earlier. It's getting hot here. Am I planning for an intersection departure today, Organ? Let's look at the figures, the load sheet, and let's see what that says. Over here. Right, what have we got? Takeoff weight 65.3, so above maximum landing weight. It's class. How many passengers have we got on here? 62. I mean, yeah, we could go into section. And go into section where we can, unless it's looking a little bit sketchy. But no, that looks fine. We'll see what the computer says. We'll see what our system says. If you got any, you're still putting your old system together. How's that going, Morgan? And your calculations, your performance calculator. I'll plan for an intersection, shall I? Let's do that. Apparently it's cold in Inverness. Let's have a look. It's boiling hot down here. What have we got? 15 degrees, see? That's versus what we got, 24. It's not 24 in the sun, that's in the shade. It's pushing 30 here, I think. Config 2 flex 47 121 121 126. Okay. Let's see what we get then. Thank you. But yeah, I'm not expecting weather to be slight winds. Increasing wind in Inverness. Edinburgh overcast 100 feet, 13 degrees. That's awful up there. It's the complete opposite, isn't it? A bit of drizzle on the way as well. A bit of rain up there. So yeah. It's the place to go and cool down. We'll take the RTX up there to cool down. It's getting hot here in my south-facing home cockpit. Sun in my eyes. I've just had a little while ago. I had Metman fly over my house. So for those of you who don't know what Metman is, it's a British Aerospace 146 based out of Cranfield. I think it has the registration Golf Lima Uniform X-Ray Echo. It's been looks like it was circumnavigating Birmingham. But I know that aircraft well because it was it's based at the airport Cranfield, where I learned to fly, and it was always in my way basically coming into land. So it basically flies around in the atmosphere, taking various. I think it's meteorological, but also a lot of pollution type data out of the air. It's got some funny looking instruments sticking out of it. So that's been it did sound a bit odd, a very low sort of sounding passenger aircraft. So it made me stick my head out the window, and lo and behold, I saw 146, and I thought, I know what that is. So I had a look on the old flight radar, and lo and behold, actually quite risky. It was flying around in uncontrolled airspace. I think where I wouldn't fancy taking what it was effectively a passenger aircraft through that airspace. But yeah, if you want to get into Cranfield, that's what you have to do. Right, what are we doing? There's nothing too exciting in the NOTAMs there. So 152. All these people want to go and sit in the rain. Look, cargo 3.7, fuels looking sensible. Let's see if GSX will do its thing. I've just checked GSX out, make sure it is all installed. There we go. We've got some stairs appearing. Good. Right. It's looks like it's doing its thing. So yeah, and the call sign of that aircraft is Metman. Don't touch that. Right. So what do we got? Correct aircraft. Correct air rack. Correct routes. Here we got some. Oh, sorry. There we are. We're back. So call sign today. Easy 428 Quebec. X of 4 as always. So 360 minus 50. High tropopause at 38. How is everyone getting on with the 777? Has anyone had a play with that? Is that I'm hearing good things. Hey, Sav. Very nice day for it here. Not so nice up in Scotland by the looks. You wouldn't buy the 777. Why would you not buy the 777 then? Are you just being anti-Boeing, or are you not a long hauler? With the 320, I mean, yeah. Keeping it realistically, you kind of, in the real world, you're going to fly one aircraft at a time, aren't you? Unless you're nomadic aviation, relocating aircraft over the globe. But and that's what you know, and that's where you build your experience, and you become, it takes thousands of hours to learn an aircraft and learn an aircraft properly, right? So, but it's what is the cost of the? I don't even know the cost of it, to be honest, Organ. Yeah, what is the price? I mean, I do find Boeing to be generally, from a cockpit workload. I mean, I'm speaking from inexperience with Boeing, obviously, but when I have had a dabble in the PMG EG737, it's sort of like, whoa, I don't have to do that, or I don't have to do this, or it does this for me. So it's £64. Yeah, that's yeah, okay, yeah. So you want to be serious, don't you? Before you that you're a long hauler, you're going to be flying that aircraft around for 64. Yeah, okay. That makes the That makes the Fenix look like a bargain, doesn't it? What will we get with that, and what's coming as well? Okay, interesting. $70, yeah, £64, $77. Okay, thanks guys. Yeah, it's interesting. Right, I suppose we want to get a departure clearance. Let me get Beyond ATC fired up here. I bought the PMDG 737. I think I flew it twice. It's been in the hangar ever since. Right, let's just get Beyond ATC working. Fly. Connected to sim, call signs correct. Okay, let's get an Asus, shall we? Let me know if it's too loud and you can't hear it. Could you hear Beyond ATC there, right? By the way, was I selfishly just keeping that to myself? Would I recommend Beyond ATC or without SimPilot? I mean, I use both. Couldn't hear it. Couldn't hear it. Right. Okay. Why can you not hear that? The test here. Tease. What happens when you don't use your try that. Break everything. Let's just try this. Let me tune.
Delta 1201 Zulu, wind 050 at 4 temperature 25, dew point 12, QNH 101 tree, landing and departing runway 25.
Can you hear that?
Transition level 060. Advise on initial contact, you have information Delta.
Okay, good.
Luton Airport.
Let me know if it's too loud, too quiet. Just shout at me.
Zulu, wind 050 at 4 temperature 25, dew point 12, QNH 101 tree. Landing and departing runway 25. Transition level 060. Advise on initial contact. You have information Delta.
Okay, runway 25 it is. 1013. Let me just get my port binded again as well. That's it. Okay, cool. Thank you guys. Right, what are we doing? Right, runway 25. Let's go. Too much talking. Back to one only departure. Are we? Yep, to Charlie. Oh, is that playing from the other runway? Or is this playing from 07? Okay, interesting. Okay. What's the wind? 05. Okay. We can do it. And up in Inverness, we're expecting 2-3. There are no arrival routes. It's for stars for Inverness. 404, 405. Shear rate of 5.5 at EGGW. Okay, so worry about. Quick look. So 1013 is in and cross-checked, and that looks sensible. On aerodrome altitude, let's flick through. The absence of having a first officer who go and check this. Some of the all your departure routing out in your. I'm going to skip that bit. Yes, 5, and then we should have 6 only. Yeah, there we go. That's in, so that's sensible anyway from memory. Excellent. And we haven't got an initial climb yet, but I'll put 6 in the box. On the FCU, I've got mini FCU fired up as well. Still working. Just blowing the dust off everything here. So have a quick look outside. I think are we loaded? Are we there? Did anyone come on? Bags. All right, the bags just finishing up. Okay, we're getting there then. So, fuel wise, let's have a look. 5.9, and what did we say? 5.9. Alternate 1.4 into Edinburgh. So we'll. Might as well wait for the boarding complete now, and we can chuck the other figures in. Those last bags. Okay. I might grab the clearance while we're waiting. I did start the APU. I didn't put it on. There we go. I did put the time on and everything. So it's a good shout. So we started it 15 minutes ago to exactly for that reason. But we've carried on letting them sweat. But yeah, you're right. It's so obviously if we're sitting in the real airplane, we would have done that by now because we would have been hot and sweaty, and we wouldn't. One would have shouted at us. So yes, we would do in these temperatures. We're sitting in a tin can, and it's getting hot. It's hot coming in. Doors are open. You need some ventilation. Indicating 25 outside, but that it certainly feels like it. I'm up the road from Luton, not too far away, and it's feeling warmer than 25. But it's just the circulation of the system, Chris. The aft temperatures. So you got a pack for the cockpits on its own, and then everything else is done by the pack, and it's where the air comes out and distributed. So yeah, it's just about where that is. Probably a little bit to do where the sensors are as well. Right, was that where we're loaded up? There we go. Right, send to McDo. I enjoy that feature. I wish we had that in the real world. That would make our lives easier, wouldn't it? Right, so 60 and 32.2. The latest one of these. Load sheets as well. Yeah, 60, 32.2 matches. We didn't put all the wins in, did we? It's not unrealistic, Chris. There's definitely differences. Like you say, I think that is pretty accurate from my memory. I usually keep the controls in this configuration, and that does the job 9 out of 10 times. So a couple of knocks to the left, and usually keeps things around 22 degrees, and I don't get too many complaints. It's only on a day like today with the doors being open, people are like, oh, okay, but it takes a bit of time to do its job, and obviously you want to get going. If the tin can is open, then we don't have so much of a fighting chance. Right, performance. This is organ aviator's speciality. This is an interest area here. So, runway 25, we are dry. Let's let it decide on config for the moment, on flap. Sync weather. We'll go Alpha 1, departure, intersection. That. So, it wants flaps 1, organ, 23, 40, 40. And you had, what did you have? Flaps 2, 21. Going back up, 21, 21, 26. Flexing to 47, and we're flexing to 51. Okay. Shall we go with the organ aviator figures? See how that works today. What do you reckon? If I go flaps 2, then let's go config 2. Let's check that out. Right. Calculate that. What does it give? 25, 35, 35. A little bit higher. And the flex temp's the same, 47. Right, so you're saying 21, 21, 26. Interesting. So we agree on the 47 flex. I'm more comfortable with my VR of 135. Organ aviator. So let me send that over. So did you have PAX offer on? So PAX off. Let's send that to MZ McDo. Check that's gone over. $25, $35, $35, 6,000. It's just same. Fine. 15,400. And I was going to get my clearance from Beyond ATC. Let's give that a go. Luton clearance. Good afternoon, EZ428 Quebec. Airbus A320, stand to information Delta QNH 1013, requesting IFR clearance to Inverness.
EZ428 Quebec, Luton delivery information Delta correct. Expect runway 25, own 2 Bravo departure. Squawk 0642.
Expect runway 25, only 2 Bravo departure, squawk 0642, EZ428 Quebec.
EZ428 Quebec, read back correct. Contact ground 121.755 when ready for push or start.
Contact ground 121.755 when ready, EZ428 Quebec. Uh, 642. No, not that one, that one. That's right. I think we're ready, aren't we? I think is everything clear on the ground? Let's have a look. We've still got these stairs here. If we get going, we put our seatbelts light on. That should hopefully get rid of all that. Oh no. Oh, AP bleed was on. Didn't transfer the power, did I? The bus. That always catches me. There we go. ESX, but usually, hopefully, it hasn't. No, we're still good. All good. Beyond ATC links up with SimBrief, Chris. I don't think it links up with VATSIM on Squawk. That's my understanding. So you sort of have to remember the change if you're flicking between the two. If you're using one as the filling the gap in, if you like, using Beyond ATC for the gaps, you do have to readjust. Is my understanding. Luton ground. Good afternoon. EZ428 Quebec's ready for push and start.
Aircraft calling for pushback, say call sign.
EZ428 Quebec.
EZ428 Quebec, Luton ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face southeast.
Start approved, face southeast, EZ428 Quebec. Right, hey, Captain Jack Flight Sim. Hello, good morning from Colorado, of course. Good morning over there. Enjoying the videos. Excellent, glad to hear it. There's more on the way. I've actually got another 4 made already. That's dripping them out slowly but surely. It's something I do when Mrs. Cockpit Coach has gone out for the day and it's raining and there's, you know, some time for the computer. Right. What did he want? Did he want me to release parking brake? Is that what he asked? Parking brake released. Or not? Oh, not ready? What did GSX say? Today. No good. Where are we with GSX? Oh, parking brakes on, do you? Okay, right. Alright, Smoky Boy, hello, good afternoon. What's GSX doing? Is it playing up? It's doing so well. We didn't continue pushback. There we go. Right, so we want nose right. Right, there we go. So it's not me, it's me not listening. Right, engine start. So I suppose we should do some checklists. This is before start checklist. Parking brake is off. Takeoff data we're confirmed. We've got windows and doors are closed. Doors closed and armed, and beacon is on. Let's get mode ignition. Oh, we'll start easy stops. Start engine 1 today. Can't hear GSX. GSX. You're not missing much, to be honest, with GSX, but GSX should pick up from. Sorry, I'm scrolling on the wrong screen here. Bit dodgy, isn't it? Parking rate set. Not sure on the GSX piece, to be honest. It should, because it's coming through my monitor. It should pick up from the general noise of the sim. I'll try and crank that up a bit. And it was engine 2. I suppose we should really brief this up as well. I haven't got anyone to do a briefing with. No pilot monitoring, but takeoff runway today 25, only to Bravo, stop climb 6,000. MSA is 2,300 from memory. We did have a scan through the fuel. We've got extra time, and that route reserve will chuck over to the extra flight time. Hotspots, we have one ahead. Hey Jesse, thanks for the sub. Welcome aboard. We've got one ahead, but we're not using that intersection. I can hear the engines spooling faintly. They're not particularly noisy, to be honest. But there, yeah, it's a bit of a non-event, really, from the cockpit side. Let me know if you do have sound issues. I'll try and crank it up a bit more. We have done takeoff calculations, so we've cross-checked with Organ Aviator's figures. Engine outsid, I haven't put in, we're straight ahead to 25. I suppose we should chuck that in, really, shouldn't we? You can't hear them at all. Okay. Can you hear any cockpit sound, Chris? Have a look. Peace. Okay, hold on. Yep. Now you should. Right, so this is the problem of leaving your PC going flying for so long. So if I put that down there. Right. That should be good for you now. Let's come back to norm. Parking brake. We need now hearing sound. So thank you guys. Sorry about that. That's what happens when you leave your PC for so long, and you're essentially new to streaming again. You have to reset everything. It's all messing around. But I'm glad we sorted that one before takeoff anyway. So good stuff. So no non-standard ops. In terms of return today, we're actually a little bit overweight, and Luton isn't the longest one way. I would potentially opt to go elsewhere. I would consider an overweight landing, certainly. Consider an overweight landing, but potentially somewhere a bit more favourable, like Gatwick. Another EasyJet base. So. Organ, yep, you can take off calculations, you're around, make the right decision because the FCOM is known to be slightly conservative. Yeah, okay, well, we'll see if we, we'll see, won't we, if we'll get airborne or not. So after start checklist, anti-ice, not required today, ECAM status. So let's, we'll do the flight controls first. And pitch trim, we're down 0.5. That's right, a green band as well. So I think I missed a question on Sav. I think of the sim. You set the fuel payload and trim in the menu, and then readjust it via Phoenix. I don't use the Microsoft Flight Sim menu. It's all just what's loaded in. What we get through from calculations. Essentially, really, when operating the Airbus, as long as your trim's in this green band, right, you're good, you're safe. you're not going to crash on takeoff if you got trim in that band. I'm surprised to hear you're struggling with trim. Chat Flight Sim, we're promoting your channel on mine during a stream. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks very much. Member of a community of streamers here in the US. You're doing everything. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You know, and likewise, I'll check out your channel as well. Thank you. RH Milky Boys, your frame's always so good. Due to your GTX, would use other mods. No mods, so I'm straight up through an RTX 4070. There's no frame gen at all on here. It's a reasonably decent i9 processor. I've got that. It's yeah, it's what it is. I guess it just does the job. And the flight control check while we're sitting here. Otherwise, we'll be here all day, won't we? Left, full right, neutral, and that can now come to max. Okay. This one, and we'll flaps 2 for takeoff. Let's go, right, Beyond ATC, see if we get shouted at today or not. AZ428 Quebec, request taxi.
EZ428 Quebec, runway 25 taxi via Bravo, Alpha.
Runway 25 taxi via Bravo and Alpha, EZ428 Quebec.
Negative, clarify departure runway 25.
Departure runway 25 via Bravo and Alpha, EZ428 Quebec. Not as friendly as the usual Luton controllers. They need to work on friendliness. Do I prefer Beyond ATC over VATSIM? Not at the moment, because I miss the traffic. That's the one piece I miss. Let's get that on now. I'm going to put TIRA on now, just because I'm single crew with flaps 2. And that going, and we'll put terrain on as well. Dimmed on my side. Let's do that now as well. Taxi is on. Good. Let's get going. Let's get up to Inverness, shall we? Otherwise, we'll be here all day. Right. TBI tracker. Clear left side. Clear right side. And brake check, pressure 0, all good there. Have I ever had any real flight emergencies? Yeah, quite a few, but it depends. Probably not of the exciting nature you want to hear about, where things catch fire and dramatic things happen, but common ones, both in general aviation, while I was training, we had radio failures, alternator. I think I talked about an alternator failure. That was during before I even was qualified as a private pilot. I had an alternator failure, which was interesting. Radio is always a bit of an issue. I've had that a few times. Whilst not obviously life-threatening, you have to the procedures you have to pull out of your mind for those events are just add a bit of extra complexity to your day. Things like abnormal vibration, things like that, oil. It's usually spurious. They are not real emergencies, but they're spurious sensor readings, which you have to treat as emergencies. But yeah, medical emergencies are another one as well. So people are the biggest variable of the day, really. Traffic. Dodgy tyre pressure sensors and so forth. So yeah, all sorts, but nothing that really you'd lose sleep over. Nothing as dramatic as what you get in your sim check. But to be honest, things like a radio failure, even if you're doing your private pilot's license or something, in that. Oh, you got to remember your light signals, the procedure for joining the circuit. It can be quite stressful for a new pilot. I actually lost my radio over. Oh, where was it? I want to say Cottesmore or Conington, one of the RAF bases. I was in the MAT zone and speaking to the air traffic controller there, and we lost comms. And I swapped 76 as you was trained, 7600. Left the zone, returned to Cranfield, entered the zone with flashing lights and all that. It all worked out well. And yeah, you get out the plane at the other side. You walk back into the flying club, and the distress and diversion cell from West Rating at the time was on the phone saying, as that pilot landed, is he safe? And so they could track you and follow you all the way down, so you do get a really good service on the distress and diversion cell if you ever need them. But yeah, no, all sorts. Grumpy passengers have been the biggest problem.
EV428 Quebec. Contact Luton Tower 132.555.
Contact Longitude Tower 132.555, EV428 Quebec. Luton Tower, hello, EZ428 Quebec's approaching runway 25 for departure.
EZ428 Quebec, backtrack runway 25. Call when ready for departure.
Backtrack runway 25, call when ready, EZ428 Quebec. Right, I won't backtrack. Clear left side, clear right side, and this is where I crashed the plane trying to do all my click spots. So we're not cleared, but I'll get these on all now. So Beyond ATC doesn't do a intersection departure. So nothing on TCAS. Cabin crew, seats for takeoff, please. Seats for takeoff. Yeah, grumpy passengers. I've been in the back a few times recently, dealing with people getting a little bit heated, laying down the lot. It definitely picks up in the summertime. Right, takeoff. Because we did our packs, so yeah, we'll do the packs. I'm talking too much, yeah, I'm just distracted. So runway 25 confirmed, TCAS TARA, packs 1 and 2 now off. 20 seconds to transition those valves, and we'll get going. We had a call ready, I always forget this will be on ATC. EZ428 Quebec is ready for departure.
EZ428 Quebec, Luton Tower, wind 050 at 4, runway 25, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 25, clear for takeoff, EZ428 Quebec. Right, let's go. Let's see where those takeoff figures work out. EGT stable. Manflex 47 SRS runway, auto thrust blue. The rudder feels so different to the real thing from my pedals at home. It's real aircraft you have to put. There's something to push against. 100 knots. B1. Rotate. Positive climb, gear up.
EZ428 Quebec, contact Luton, departure 132.05.
Flaps 1, speed checks, flaps 1. Heart brake, on things I'm pressing. Positive trend. 132.05 EZ428 Quebec. Thrust climb, auto thrust. I don't know what this squiggly line here is, that's not what I want to see. Departure, hello, Easy 428 Quebec's passing 2,700 for 5,000. 6,000 in.
Easy 428 Quebec, Luton departure. Identified, climb to flight level 180.
Climb flight level 180, Easy 428 Quebec. Right, speed, flaps, checks, flaps up. Right, what's going on with this departure route? That sorted itself out. Trying to sort itself out. Alright, that can come down. Yes. Very good Airbus. That, and that. I'm just looking out the passenger window. 10 seconds of hack 2. And we're climbing 180. Cleared, so open climb, thrust climb, open climb. And flight level. Standard, set once, twice, 3 times, passing 5, checked. Can we turn here? We want to go right, I don't want to go left. There we go, good. Right, sorry, there's an off chat there. With that sim, tune in as an observer, listen to the terminology. Yeah, it's about giving it a go. But actually, I think Beyond ATC is a good tool to get you in the frame for you know, saying the right terminology. It's there or thereabouts, iCUE language, so it's a good tool to start with. A bit of a tailwind as we climb out. So we should be passing over Cranfield, where I learned to fly. There we go. Echo Golf Tango Charlie there. This is where the journey began. Yeah, lots of memories there. So I'm expecting the weather to deteriorate as we get further north. Cracking weather down here today. Although someone did tell me this morning it was the last of the really hot days for a while. I'm actually venturing over to Europe for a few days next week. Right, passing 10 and 6. Perfect. Standard, accelerating, flight is smooth, seatbelts can come off. Going flying Cranfield. There's a funny sort of test track over there for cars next to Centre Parks, and here is Cranfield over here. So this is Milton Keynes. Anyone knows the UK? There's the Milton Keynes Stadium and the shopping centre over there, and this is Cranfield's runway up here. And on this hill is a mast, and it's the Woburn mast. I think a Woburn Zoo down there somewhere, I think that's it there. You've got a mast here at Woburn, it's one of the reporting points. So Woburn only is a reporting point over on this side, which is part of our departure routing. It's one of only 2 Barber departure, it's a little village, quite possibly that one there. And then you have Stuart B, which is an old brickworks over here, which is also a reporting point. And yep, there's the village of Cranfield. Cranfield, a university, obviously, as well. But lots of air safety work happens at Cranfield as well, in terms of things like crash survival, all that kind of technology. It happens at Cranfield, so it's as well as a management university. If you were given a long taxi time or pushed departure time by the tower, what can you do about it? We can sit in the cockpit and moan, have a coffee. So very little we can do about it, to be honest. ATC delays.
Easy 428 Quebec. Contact London Control 118.475.
London Control 118.475, Easy 428 Quebec. Good day, sir.
Negative. London Control on 118.475.
London Control 118.475, Easy 428 Quebec. Under control, Easy 428 Quebec is in the climb to flight level 180, approaching Welling.
Aircraft calling, say call sign.
Easy 428 Quebec.
Easy 428 Quebec, London Control, radar contact. Climb to flight level 360.
Climb flight level 360, Easy 428 Quebec. Fast climb, open climb 360 blue. Was once on a flight from Manchester where the pilot notified the passengers that tower given 25 minutes to taxi. So that's slot times. Yeah, not much you can do about slot times, Chris. Sometimes it's our own fault for missing them because whatever reason. Will I join VATSIM closer to Inverness? Are they online up there? Kind of interested to see how it vectors me, to be honest. I know they made some improvements to vectoring on Beyond ATC, so see how that works out. Can you advise how to find a pilot job for someone who completed their MCC in 21? I think one of their applications is rejected. I mean, reactionary, do they have feedback on the reason for the rejection? Obviously a starting point, understanding that. It's how many flying hours, all those kind of things come under it. No feedback, so yeah, I mean, I would really push for feedback, because, you know, if you're getting continuous rejections out there, usually they will provide that. You know, they'll say, well, sometimes you know, they are just, you know, there's a big pool of people, and they're going to take the most experienced ones out there, and there's always someone with, you know, more experience or whatever it may be, coming in from the military or something like that. Who knows? But I'd want the feedback myself to understand it. Otherwise, it's just a case of plucking away, unless you know what to improve or approach differently. Without the feedback, it's difficult. The 25-minute delay will mess up for your planning if you're already operating your engines. Yeah, if you're delayed on the gate, not a problem. But yeah, it's a consideration. That's where, you know, single engine taxi comes in, and that kind of thing. We'll do what we can to preserve fuel, but this time of the year, generally throwing in a bit more, especially operating in and out of a big busy airport. I expect delays. It's busy up there at the moment. I'm just worried that Organ Aviator, if we connect to VATSIM, we're just going to be there'll be 25 777s on Inverness. All doing British Airways shuttles to Heathrow. So Beyond ATC released something the other day, because it's Flight Sim Expo time, isn't it? I did see they put something out on Discord saying they're working on their traffic. So it looks like they're getting there with that. They said obviously they've been working on the handoffs and the vectoring side of things, so it'll be interesting to see. So for me, if we've got, I mean, it's reasonably, you can hear it, you see, obviously it's reasonably decent. Just every now and then it's asking me for my call sign again and things. The tower handoff from ground to tower worked this time. That was an issue, so kudos for sorting that one out. Yeah, it's being refined, but if they can get the traffic in, so we've got, I've said before on stream, other traffic is a huge part of your operating day in an aircraft. You know, people get in your way, there's traffic, there's delays, there's other people having emergencies or whatever, blocking a runway. It's a huge part of your day, and it will change things quite drastically. So having the traffic element in Beyond ATC will, I think, bring it much more alive and just add that extra realism. Obviously, we're dead on frequency at the moment. You can't hear anything. That's not realistic. I forget that Beyond ATC is there. That's why I have quite often taken off on stream without getting my clearance, because I forget I'm on air traffic control. So yeah, it's that'll be a tick in the box.
428 Quebec. Contact London Control 118.775.
Contact London Control 118.775 is E428 Quebec. Good day. London Control, hello, is E428 Quebec's direct Trent, climbing flight level 360.
Easy 428, Quebec London Control identified.
How many feet do I pull up a bit before touchdown? I can't seem to avoid hard landing. So it's not about well, I suppose at what altitude you pull up. You begin your flare. So the Airbus logic is it's going to trim down at 50 feet, which forces you to pull back. Really, you're looking, you probably want about 8 degrees nose up-ish in that region. So you want to keep a gentle back pressure. It's about holding the nose up, looking level. Don't yank it up too much. It's actually quite difficult in the sim to get that perspective of where your nose is at. It's something in the sim doesn't always make it look correct. I don't know what it is. It's the fixed position. Obviously, you don't feel the aircraft as well. It's about holding it there. As long as you're. I find actually in the Fenix as well, chopping the power very quickly at 30 feet, for example, can lead to a much harder landing than just reducing it, flaring and taking the power off gradually. So let the power stay in a little bit longer if you're having hard landings as well. Give that a go. I do find that helps in the Fenix. And that, it can depend on the conditions. If you've got headwind, you're going to float, you probably want to take the power off earlier, because the headwind's going to stop you coming down. So it depends on your wind situation as well. But yeah, I would try, nothing drastic, certainly on the flare. I'd say aim to hold the attitude rather than pull back too far. But play around with how quickly you bring the power off. That can make a real difference. Passenger grievances, is that because the number of flights and passengers increasing, or environmental factors? I'd say more about environmental factors and football. Football and lots of people drinking at the airport. I can't stand drunk passengers. The biggest bane of my working day is, I just really don't understand why we serve so much alcohol at airports, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's more alcohol fueled. You obviously you got your stag parties. I don't do too many German routes, to be honest, myself, my operator, my location, but yeah, there's been a lot of football fans, big groups, so whenever you get a group of people and alcohol mixed, that's when we have problems. Obviously delays, there are delays, and incidents like Manchester the other day where we had power failure, that's going to cause problems. But that's a one-off event. But generally, it's a busy time of year. The airspace is busier. There are more frequent, shorter delays, coupled with a day like today, where you have got people sitting planes, they're hot bothered. But throwing in the added mix of the groups, alcohol particularly, is probably the main issue. So direct Pole Hill. We should really start looking at our arrival shortly. Let's get some charts up, shall we? Didn't really look at any charts, did we? So arrival, so there's no stars into, so there's nothing to click on for arrival. But approach-wise, we're expecting runway 23. There's over the water. See what Beyond ATC does to us in terms of vectors. So, what have we got? MSAs 5, 6, and we're coming in. We'll probably come in from this direction. So 5, 6. Say 221 minimums. Standard 3 degrees. Platform altitude 2,000 feet, 331 inbound, missed approach, climbing straight ahead to 2,000, then climbing turn right back to the VOR at 3,000 to hold. Brisk hotter temperatures, yeah, and turbulence. Turbulence scares either people happy with turbulence or it just scares them. That's how we measure a landing. We don't look at, you know, well, this landing rate everyone focuses on on flight sim. We either get screaming or it's quiet. We just measure it by the amount of screaming noise in the background. We try not to. I mean, if the flight deck, you can have a chuckle over some. It depends who you're flying with, I suppose, and you gauge the person. You can have a chuckle over some of them, but coming down a bit hard. But or you'd sort of say, oh, the wind really caught me there on that one. You know, and you pass some comment, and you know, little bit hard that one, but on the wind. But yeah, it's we don't really taxi off the runway and go, ouch, you know, or your feet per minute or two a bit too high on that one. It's either if the printer starts going and you get a load 15 report, then that's when you need to worry. But at that point, you'd hear the screams before the printer starts. So just past Manchester. Let's have a look outside, shall we? That's where are we? About Manchester. Is this Manchester down here? Yep, there's Manchester Airport over there. So it's double runway. Lots of backlog there. All those people affected by power cuts. There we go. Let's just pass off down there. A few clouds appearing now. See. I suppose on average, I would go into the back of the aircraft on the request of a flight attendant, probably once a month. More recently, it's been once a week. You know, there's been some kind of issue, some kind of altercation, people just not behaving appropriately, and it's never a nice thing to be sat next to a drunk group of people on an aircraft for how many ever hours it may be, especially if you've got children and so forth around. So, yeah, it's the cabin crew don't have an easy job. Situations. I've never had to divert, however, myself. I've diverted for medical reasons. I've never had to divert for a security or a an act of violence or a disorderly passenger, for example. Organ, I didn't hear about that one, so I can't tell you. 26 people removed from an EasyJet flight. Okay, I can only imagine what that could be, but no, I didn't hear about that one, to be honest. It's not one I've come my way. Nothing to do with me. Right, so for the fact that we haven't got any standard terminal arrival route, I want to put my old radius trick in, so get the radius of 30 miles around the aerodrome put in. That's very, very good of you, Chris. Was trying to have discussions of what the flight crew put up with. I've bought the chocolate as a thank you. Very good of you, Chris. Yep, I'd appreciate that. So you see here, we don't have so many let's put the constraints on. Flight level 100, 250 knots within 30 miles of the airport. They're good for a landing on any direction, so I'm putting that one in, particularly for an aerodrome without standard terminal arrival route. It's a good one to do. John, you programmed a co-pilot voice a while ago. A French female voice used this on Vatsim Punch. She'll comment on landing. Once said, "Remind me to pick up." Just flew off the landing. Very good. Very good. So to program that radius, Chris, you just come on to your flight plan page, select any. I have got a video on it as well, so do go and have a look. But if you need a recap, but left line clicked on a waypoint, right click fix info. You can put in your aerodrome, you can put in the aerodrome, you can put the runway threshold in as well, and you just chuck the radius in that you want down here. So I put 30 nautical miles, and that should bring you up the airport radius. So 212 miles to go direct to the runway threshold. A few clouds appearing. What's the wind doing? So it's sort of tailwind, which is helpful. Not so helpful for descending. Company message. What have I done now? "52-minute delay." That would be terrible. So. Probably better stats than I got in the real world. Have a look outside, shall we? Getting into the Pennines Lake District kind of area, part of the world, I think, aren't we? Nice day for a walk on the hills. So where are my people? I did have this working. I boarded and I ticked the little Phoenix box and there were people in my plane. But they were not here. We've taken off. I've forgotten the passengers. The whole GSX thing was throwing people in. Maybe because I just did an update check on it. It might have unticked that Phoenix box. I'll have to go and have a look at that. Can't see all the grumpy passengers sitting there. They could well all be in the facilities, absolutely. This is one nice thing about flying on flight sims. We don't have these passenger issues to deal with. If you manage to simulate the issues that we have with passengers on a day-to-day basis, I mean, it would, you know, especially as a single crew, you know, flying a simulator at home, it would be quite interesting. Pulling your hair out. Chris, I'll have a day off. I'll have a day off from passenger issues. I'll be back on with that on Saturday morning. Sorting that one out, putting that lot out. But so maybe it's a possibility we can get a stream in tomorrow and Friday as well. So maybe similar-ish times. We'll see how we go. Something during the day. Yeah, I'm back in the real thing on the weekend. I can't wait for the 319 to come in from Phoenix. It'll probably coming while I'm on holiday, no doubt. But yeah, I do enjoy the 319 as an aircraft to fly. Now, it'll be interesting because that is a harder aircraft to butter a landing with in the real world. So we'll see how that's modelled in the Phoenix. Generally, you need to add a bit of extra speed to what's calculated to get a nice smooth touchdown. Don't bring the power off so early on the 319, hold it in a bit. There's slight differences with how that it works, but it's essentially you've got the same engines, you've got the same fuel tanks. It goes all over Europe with a little plane, little rocket. So it's quite fun to fly. You get the noise of the engines in the cockpit a lot more because you're that little bit closer. So yeah, it's fun to fly. It's I'd choose the 319. It's a nice aircraft over the 320 generally, just for those things. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows when release? Will the 319 321 come together? I don't know. There are some handling differences. Well, as you'd expect, you've got the 321, a longer aircraft, you've got the 319 shorter, energy management and so forth. That's takeoff and landings is where you get some key differences with those aircraft. Be a shame to see the 319 go. My operator does have a phase-out plan for the 319. They're generally older aircraft in the fleet, but still good. What's going on beyond ATC? Have we missed anything? No, we were lost. That we were identified? Okay. This is it. It's just a bit too quiet on beyond ATC at the moment. I put a new a flight info bar on the stream at the top there. Someone mentioned they can't see sort of enough. I know I'm streaming widescreen, which is a bit of a pain. I'm toying with the idea of just getting a nice big TV and doing it on that. Sorting out all these widescreen streaming issues, do my head in. But a question to you, there we go. Do we need the information bar on the stream? Do you look at that? I don't know if it actually, does it help you? I mean, really the information is on the displays. I know they can be a little bit hard to read, but
Easy 428 Quebec, contact Scottish Control 119 or decimal 875, bye bye.
contact Scottish Control 119.875. Bye bye. Easy 428 Quebec. Scottish Control, Easy 428 Quebec's with you, flight level 360.
Aircraft calling, say call sign.
Easy 428 Quebec.
Easy 428 Quebec, Scottish Control identified.
That say call sign piece, say again call sign is a little bit more frequent. So have you got to leave now? I'm going by the dog a padding pool. Good. Thanks for joining. Have a good afternoon and good luck finding a dog a padding pool. Good luck with that. Yeah. So I don't know. Do we need the information bar or not? Is it helpful? Happy to leave it in if it is. I do need to sort my monitor situation. I've got a very good monitor. So you know, it's a. What is it, an Asus Predator monitor? It's probably £1,000 worth of monitor, but for streaming it's not very helpful, I suppose. It's the aspect ratio. For me, it's great. Just conscious it's not the best for streaming. Right, where are we going? We're nearly at top of descent, not too far away. 40 odd miles, just under. I'm conscious we haven't talked about our arrival very much, so we have no star. Morworth was 5.6, sorry, the MSA was 5.6. Runway 23 is what we're expecting, ILS. Approach minimums was, so we need to get that in, don't we? Let's have a look. Information in. So 221. Let's have a look. Yeah. Let's pull in some weather from here, shall we? 011. 0203 knots. Is 15. What a difference, eh? Oh, you prefer that banner? Okay, yeah, the other one was hanging down a little bit. I think it just needs nudging up a little bit. There's a little bit of a gap at the top. I'll play with that later. Work in progress. It's all part of the Airbus Cockpit Coach Continuous Improvement Programme. Right, is this Beyond ATC controller going to give me decent descent or not? That's usually a little bit late. Right, and what's our weight? 63.6. We base it on current weight. We always go nice worst case, won't we? Okay. Medium auto brake, flat full. should get more into the habit of using the sim brief calculator. Set that one up. So we're just planning my descent. So NESD, so we're going to be at NESD. We're going to be, that's inside where we want to be flight at 100. So if I put in here 100 at 250, it gives the computer a bit of guidance to work to. There we go, it brings forward our top of descent. This is where Beyond ATC will go a little bit wrong. Chris, due to the game of hide and seek, one of the less sober passengers has got his foot stuck in the lavatory, trying to dislodge his foot. Might lose his trainer. Yes, I mean that kind of thing would not surprise me at all. Thank you, Chris. That's been an interesting problem to have. I did manage to unblock the sink the other day in an Airbus by applying appropriate tapping to a certain part of the system. And there you go. Every day is a school day. Amazing what you can find in an aircraft lavatory. I won't tell you some of the stories. It's amazing, actually. Right, the place to go and look for things. Right, if you lose something on the aircraft, go to the back. It's where you find all the loose change. There's a trick for you. Back at the sides. It's where all the change rolls. So at the end of the day, if you want a tip, you just go digging around the aft seats of the aircraft and at top of descent point here. That's you can find quite a bit of cash under there, but obviously it needs picking up because it adds the weight to the aircraft over time. We can't have all this money on board, but that's where it all is. You'd be surprised at what else you find under aircraft seats as well. All sorts. Right, I really want to go down, and this is where Beyond ATC sort of... I'll request descent, and then it'll ask me what flight level do I want to drive. Just say... all ready for descent. Okay, let's do that.
EZ428 Quebec, ready for descent.
That's a new feature.
EZ428 Quebec, flight present heading descent to flight level 340 Inverness Airport landing runway 05.
Flight present heading descend to flight level 340 landing runway 05 EZ428 Quebec. Great. Right, so we are thrust idle open descent heading 340 blue, and we've got a runway change. I bet they're not landing 05 or what are they? I need to get that flight radar. Right, well in that case we better I was hoping for the over the sea approach as well. Here's what it is, new minimums therefore should need resetting. Let's have a look. Indeed it does, 230. So we've got approach speed of 140 VLS 135, lowest selectable. Speed alt star. So what we've got, platform here, 2,100. Wait, it's 2,700. Climb straight ahead, 2,000, then turn right. So it's the same procedure, but with a speed restriction of 210 knots. and a 3-degree slope. So we've got a little box to request ready for descent, which wasn't there last time I flew, so that is a improvement. That was one of the bugs, so I'll note that for next time. Excellent. Well done, Beyond ATC, thank you. I would like to keep going down 2,000 feet. Do it with lower. Coming in on the other side, we got less descent distance, maybe a challenge. Putting us onto heading as well, would that have really been necessary? Probably would have been easy for them to keep our current route going into Gusso. So what the logic is. So when we change, we should therefore recheck our arrival performance. So runway 05, we'll keep everything else the same. So we're a little bit shorter on the we'll get a rate auto brakes low. No. A little bit more favourable on the landing distance.
428 Quebec, turn right. Heading 010, descend to flight level 260 vectors for the approach. Expect further clearance in about 22 miles.
Turn right, heading 010, descend to flight level 260, expecting vectors for the approach. Easy 428 Quebec. So, thrust open descent heading, and we are 260 blue, 010 is in the FCU. Chris, at what point do you question Beyond ATC? I would have questioned a bit more if I had the option to. I mean, it's a... If I was to ask for descent, it would say it would interpret it as a flight level change request, and it would say, what flight level do you want? Up, down, and we'd just end up in a big argument trying to sort out my descent. So yeah, I try not to ask too many questions and just realise when it's going a bit wrong based on profile. So this seems a bit late. In terms of a clearance, it's generally a little bit late, but the fact that we got that request descent piece be helpful. We'll see how that goes. Might throw a bit of speed brake out. Pass along. And there's all our Scottish cloud. Chris, can you question unsafe approaches when suggested by ATC? We would question or not comply with anything unsafe from ATC. It would be a case of cannot comply. Absolutely. Yep, terrain, absolutely. Yep. If we're not comfortable, we're not flying it. The captain of the aircraft overrules ATC in all cases. As long as there's a good reason, not just because they're having a bad day.
heading descend to flight level 210. Expect further clearance in about 17 miles.
Flight present heading, descend to flight level 210, EZ428 Quebec. Thrust idle open descent 210 blue. Yeah, and Chris, that doesn't mean that put you in a hold position. Yeah, it all depends on what the situation is, possibly. If they need to resequence you, they would either take you, you get spurious vectors off somewhere or into a hold, absolutely. That very much depends on where you are. Not at the airport, you're just coming straight back into something different. Could be a diversion, or whatever. All depends on the individual scenario. No flight is the same, so we're very much maintaining the flight plan route. E-brake's still out. Let's have a look how far above our planned profile we are. Oh yeah, fair bit. 4,500 feet above profile at the moment. .1085 is our ILS frequency. That's showing. I'll cross-check that. 1085 India Lima November and 1092. The INS looks like one we want. Okay, so we get a missed approach. We'll hard tune India November Sierra. Let's just confirm that 1092.
E428 Quebec, descend to flight level 160.
Descend flight level 160, EZ428 Quebec. 160 blue. Thrust idle open descent, absolutely, speed brake still out. Although I do still want it out now, to be honest with you. So in the real world, I would have my hand on the speed brake while it's out. I'm not doing that here. That just serves as a conscious reminder that that's the position of the speed brake. At level climb with your target speed, obviously no real ways to have your speed brake out unless you want to burn more fuel. MSA56 here, so the terrain is a factor at this stage, but yeah, and there's the flight level 100. Once we're past Gussie, the terrain risk really fades away, so it's not too much of an issue.
EZ428 Quebec, flight present heading descend to flight level 100. Expect further clearance in about 16 miles.
Flight present heading, descend flight level 100, EZ428 Quebec. 100 blue. Present heading. So vectors, one thing we're keeping an eye on for this, Beyond ATC vectors. So we'll go flaps full. We'll get away with reverse idle. I'll probably throw reverse thrust in. Auto brakes medium.
EZ428 Quebec, contact Inverness approach 122.605.
Contact Inverness approach 122.605 EZ428 Quebec. Good day. Inverness approach, hello, EZ428 Quebec's with you. Into descent to flight level 100, heading 010.
EZ428, Quebec Inverness approach. Good day, QNH 1012. Expect radar vectors for ILS runway 05.
QNH 1012, expecting vectors ILS 05, EZ428 Quebec. Okay, let's check that in the performance as well. 1012. If I ever had a comms failure on approach, I landed an aircraft with a comms failure, obviously, but it hasn't actually occurred on the approach for me, Chris. How would it work in practice? You generally, as a rule of thumb, you would fly your procedure squawk 7600 and you should be okay.
8428 Quebec, descend to flight level 080.
Descend flight level 080, EZ428 Quebec. 80 blue. Yeah, generally speaking, unless charts say otherwise, that's what the temperature is here, sorry. Plus 12, no icing risk at the moment. The ATC will expect you to fly the published approach, or what your clearance is, unless the charts say otherwise. There may be special procedures. Once you're squawking 7600, they'll know that you're a radio failure aircraft, and they'll just keep an eye on you, keep people cleared. That's generally how it works. Once you get into an aerodrome, there's light signals that come into practice from the tower as well. Right, speed brake still out, still above profile.
EZ428 Quebec, turn left, heading 300, descend to flight level 060.
Turn left, heading 300, descend to flight level 60, EZ428 Quebec.
Negative, descend to flight level 060.
Descend flight level 060, EZ428 Quebec.
EZ428 Quebec, turn left, heading 285.
Left heading 285, EZ428 Quebec. Hello. Right. Chris, that can be for either. It's anything over the radio that stops you from communicating effectively. Speed brake. I need flaps 1 hit for more speed brake. Could there be a less clearance? So speed checks flaps 1 and the speed brake's coming out. Just keeping an eye on icing conditions. Plus 12, so we're okay at the moment. I'll get ourselves lit up nice and early. One less thing to do on the approach, and cabin secured. So that's a decent vector, a little bit late there, but it did actually bring us around a little bit further to the left, so it's doing its thing, although we do have a bit more altitude to lose.
EZ428 Quebec, turn left, heading 245.
And that's interesting. Left heading 245, EZ428 Quebec.
EZ428 Quebec, turn right, heading 285, descend to flight level 050.
Right heading 285, descend flight level 050, EC428 Quebec. We wouldn't use 0, we wouldn't put 0 in front of it, we descend to flight level 50. What was transition altitude here? 3,000, yeah, okay. He's right. Is it going to take me through the ILS? Where are we going? This will currently be a tailwind. We must change around for landing.
EZ428 Quebec, 7 miles from Sev 05, turn right, heading 010, maintain 2,700 feet until established on the final approach course, cleared ILS runway 05.
Turn right heading 010, maintain 2,700 till established on the final approach, cleared ILS 05, EZ428 Quebec. So we are cleared for the approach. ILS Lockstar. About 17 miles, a nice long final. Nice view of some of the hills and lakes of Scotland for the passengers. So we descend. So we're cleared now to below transition. 1012 set and cross-checked 3 times. The ILS on that side as well. So lock runways in sight ahead. Plus 16 on the temperature. We're good. I can't remember how well our glide slope's configured. Yeah, I think I have got scenery here. This is a payware, I think, for Inverness. Okay, we're 13 miles and go. Glide slope's coming in. We'll go flaps 2. I'll bring the speed back a bit. Let's go 160 now. Cabin crew, seats for landing please, seats for landing. Hold star, speed.
EZ428 Quebec, contact Inverness Tower 118, decimal 405, have a good day.
Contact Inverness Tower 118, decimal 405. Good day, sir. Oh, hello, EZ428 Quebec is with you on final runway 05.
Aircraft calling. See call sign.
EZ428 Quebec. Glide slope start.
Aircraft calling. See call sign.
EZ428 Quebec.
EZ428 Quebec, Inverness Tower. Wind 030 at 6. Runway 05 cleared to land.
Clear to land 05, EZ428 Quebec. Glide slope, let's go gear down. Speed. Put my signs on. No, I didn't. A bit lazy in the sim. Flaps 3, speed checks, flaps 3. And we'll go through to flaps full, speed checks, flaps full. And I will, let's get the old landing flight recorder, let's record, right, that's recording. Landing checklist. So we'll go around altitude 3000 set. Cabin is secured, ECA memo landing no blue. A little bit of a tailwind component at the moment, which seems to be flicking around and reducing. 2 whites, 2 reds. High control, what's pilot coming out? Cat 1. Place to come for exploring the whiskey trail.
500.
We are clear to land. Okay. On profile, 2 ways, 2 reds.
Minimum
Continue.
100.
Light slow.
40, 30, 20. Retard. 5.
Reverse, spoilers, and decel. $70 knots. This is idle and manual braking.
Easy 428 Quebec, exit left at Echo.
Exit left at Echo, easy 428 Quebec. Won't be there, that's a closed taxiway. Backtrack. There's actually no turning point, so I can actually turn anywhere here. Slice right down. Taxi down the disused taxiway. Keep our lights on and we'll bring the flaps in.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls or internet access may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings
Well, welcome to Inverness.
in the seat pocket, underneath the seat and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when
Seemed
opening the
quite a long
lockers in
flight,
case
that one.
anything falls out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking.
So we'll vacate right here.
On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our
Bring that
ground
speed
crew will
back.
help you complete your EasyJet journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information,
And clear right
check
side.
out our official Facebook page, Twitter or EasyJet app.
So this proportion of the airport is actually a usable runway. This piece. In theory, I'll keep my strobes on here. I'll kill the rest. APU on the go. Beyond ATC is telling me to expect ramp 15. Okay, clear on the left. We have got a cooler 15 degrees, so yeah, it's just probably about 15 degrees cooler than it is where we departed an hour or so ago. Middle England. Amazing the difference. So this is a payware Inverness. I'm not sure which one it is though. I don't think there's many. It's probably the only one. So Beyond ATC didn't do a bad job there, to be honest. Lots of say again call sign. That's the biggest issue with it. In terms of vectoring, hey, it worked out. Altitude clearances got us to where we needed to be. We made the approach, so I'm seeing overall improvement with Beyond ATC. Having been away from streaming for a number of weeks and come back into using it. Let me just go to one of my more usual parking spots. The Echo was the last instruction. Okay, where they've got the kit over there, shall we? Right. Get that off. Oh, that should... We can just park it right in front of the door, shall we? Let's do that. Like this guy on the zebra crossing is supposed to be marshalling me. I'm not. Not clear. Well, that will do nicely. Welcome to Inverness. There we go. Excellent. Right, before I do anything, let's do the replay. I'll hold it there. Let me bring the replay tool up and stop recording. Let it do its thing. I'll just set the flaps out. Hopefully I get this right, and we'll bring it forward a little bit. We'll have a look at that landing from the outside. Flaps are coming down. And resume. Let's see how that looks. spoiler deflection looks quite severe at the rear. Must be the replay. Not bad, not bad. We'll have another look at that from the front. And just go back up again. Anyone would think I've landed here before. Excellent. Press back on the gate without thrust reversers. Let's get the plane sorted out. Oh, I enjoyed that. It's good. It's good to be back. Good to be back in the sim. Good to be back and having a play with Microsoft Flight Sim. So right, parking brake is set. And get the engines off. Get the AP online. We have those off already. That can come off. Got there. So we're just shy of. We're at 1 hour 20 with the replays, didn't we? So yeah, not a bad little flight. Not a bad little flight. Enjoyed that. Spoiler sorted. Down. Got them locked out. I lost my hydraulics already. Laps out as well, haven't I? Laps up at least. There we go. Oh, I enjoyed that. Thanks for joining me. It's good to be back, having a play. Beyond ATC did the job, so pleased with that. But yeah, we'll keep giving it a go. We'll have a dive in, playing with Beyond ATC. Yeah, it's quite handy when there's no VATSIM traffic or VATSIM control around as well. So replay there, must be up on the spoilers. But GSX gonna bring my ground equipment or not? No, it's not doing deboarding. Okay. But yeah, this is a Payware airport. Fairly basic, I think. But yeah, that's how it looks. You got your big warehouse-looking building. Not too much to note in Inverness, really. Not the most exciting airport scenery-wise, other than the hills and things you see on the approach. Enjoyed that. Thanks very much for joining me. I will try and get another one in tomorrow as well, or maybe Friday, so let's check that out and try and make it a little bit more regular than it has been, as the flight schedule allows. So appreciate your company. It's good to have a chat, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a great afternoon. Thanks, Chris.